Pasar ekstrim teman-teman. Ini ada tikus, tikus ekor putih, bebek. Anjing yang dibantai.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the dietary laws. It's kind of a long video, so we're going to break it apart. So the beginning, we're just going to go over the basics. Then the other few videos, or however it takes to cover this lesson, we're going to go more in depth with it. So the dietary laws. So when you're coming in the truth, we made a statement or like a few videos about how we're the Israelites and stuff like that. Well, you also have to be doer of the word. So, which means you have to uphold the laws, statutes, and the holy days. And the dietary laws is very important, especially in this world, because you are what you eat. So you have to feed your spirit the right things. Yeah. So we're going to go over the dietary laws. I think Brother Perry is going to start it off, and then we're just going to go from there. You got any questions, like we say, DM us and such, and we'll help you out.
10-4. All right. So I just want to start out by giving, all honors and praise to Kahala, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. And I want to give, honors to the prophets and the elders that came before us, that have been pushing this truth and taught us this truth. So we can give this to the Ak and Akwaf today, listening and learning. And yeah, this is like Brother Darren said, we were going over the dietary law. And there's three different times in the Bible where the Most High gave his people a law and established a law of dietary eating. And I just wanted to touch on the first couple times before the third time with Aaron. So the first time that the Most High even decreed a law for a dietary law was with Adam and Eve. And this was in 1 Genesis 29 and 31. This basically consisted of seeds and fruit. This really wasn't a meat diet, because in the garden they didn't really have to look for meat. That wasn't what they had to look. It was more so of vegetables and vegetation they were eating out of. And so I'll just touch on Genesis 1, 29 and 30 a little bit. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, every tree in which the fruit of all tree yields seed. To you shall be for meat." So basically saying all the trees that bear fruit and that bear fruit, the fruit was their meat. So he's saying that the trees that bear fruit and seed, that's they should eat. That should be their meat. In verse 30. "And every beast of the earth, and every fowl of the air, and everything that creepeth upon earth, where there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." It was so. So basically, he's reiterated again. So all the beasts and all the fowls, the rats, everything, all the animals and the different creatures on the earth, they were to eat the vegetables too. So he did not stipulate until after this that he started to introduce meat. So I want to jump down to the second diet, and this is after they left the Garden of Eden. So this is a whole new diet that the Most High had to give to them, because they do not live in the Garden of Eden. So the vegetation and the plant life is not the same. So he has to teach them about how this works. So Genesis 6, 19 through 22. I'm going to start at 18. "But with thee I will establish my covenant. Thou shalt come into the ark, and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing, of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall bring into the ark, and to keep them alive with thee, and they shall be male and female. And of the fowls after the kind, and the cattle after their kind, and every creepy thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, and they shall keep them alive. And take unto you thee all food that is eaten, that you shall gather thee, and that there shall be food for thee and for them. Thus Noah, according to that all God commanded, so he did. So this right here is introducing and stepping into the second diet, where he had basically cleaned the world up, because this is after the time that Noah, he had told Noah, I want you to build an ark because I want to clean the world. So what he did is he basically told Noah to gather all the creepy crawly things, all the fowl, all the beasts of the world, and he was telling them to bring food for them, and for you. And then this is the time where he starts to lead on to let people start to eat meat. And so he starts to speak to Moses and Aaron. I'm gonna let Brother Darian tap into that, and that's when he starts to tap in and starts to allow Israel to eat meat, and he starts to stipulate to them what meat is clean and unclean. But I'll let Brother Darian go into that.
All right, so I'm gonna jump to Leviticus chapter 11, and I'm gonna read verses 1 through 8. So, chapter 11 is basically talking about 1 through 8. It's talking about what beasts may be eaten, and then I'm gonna go into the fishes. I'm just gonna simplify it. I'm not gonna read through everything. Of 11, I should say. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. So like cow, beef, you have like venison,
With
things like
deer.
that. Yeah, deer. Whatsoever Salakia. 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. So a lot of people always be trying to figure out, well, why pork? Well, a lot of people have to understand the way pigs work. Pigs eat trash. You know what I'm saying? They eat slop. They eat whatever is like left over. They eat things that are just like, that's not good, and they don't sweat. So if they don't sweat,
They'll have a way to
then
detox.
yeah, it can't detox. And like for another example, if a venomous snake bit a pig, then the venom is still gonna be in there. You know what I'm saying? I saw another picture of this butcher that was cutting meat, and like this pig had like some type of green fluid in it, and he still served it. So, and it messes with your brain too. Like that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Trichinosis.
Yeah, so when you eating things like that, it clouds your judgment, and a lot of things like you are what you eat. So the fishes, these shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So that's simple as that. Eat fish wise, eat the things that have scales and fins. So like no catfish, you know what I'm saying? No other fishes that don't have fins and scales. Like no shark, I like
Mm-hmm.
people like to eat damn shark and stuff. And other things, and a lot of things that they forgot to mention, fishes wise, be cautious about seafood, no shrimp,
No
no
shell. Anything in the
lobster,
shell.
yeah, no shellfish, because a lot of them are like bottom feeders. You know what I'm saying? Brother Parrish showed a video not too long ago of like this man had intestines and he put it in the water, and like a whole bunch of crabs jumped on it. So you're basically eating bottom fish. It's basically shrimp wise, you're eating cockroaches of the sea.
Facts, fuck.
And I'm gonna jump to the verses later later, but that's why I'm telling folks, like, don't you think it's weird how like this year and last year, like the very few years, that a lot of seafood restaurants started popping up. You see a lot of stuff on people's timelines. They like, oh, I'm eating crab or I'm eating shrimp. Well, you're not doing nothing but making yourself more unclean. You're eating, trash of the sea.
Making
And
yourself toxic.
yeah, and that's not good, especially with all the mercury and stuff like that. Did you want me to jump to what's next? Leviticus 20.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna read Leviticus 20, and I'm gonna read verses 25 and 26. So you shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And you shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl or by any manner of living things that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. And you shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahweh, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. So what he's saying is, like, he's just reiterating through it again, that make sure you're cautious about what you eat. Be very cautious. Like, for example, a lot of people say they don't eat pork and things like that, but it's a lot of products in your food that people don't understand have certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? That has like pork in it. Like, people love gummy bears. Well, gummy bears have like gelatin in it. Yes, it's beef gelatin and pork gelatin, but you gotta make sure you understand what you're reading through. And I have a website that I use when I'm going grocery shopping. It's like clean and unclean things. I can share it with you. I'll probably put it in the description because this is going on YouTube. I put it in the description so people can look at it. And I got another one that has to do with like stuff that has baby fetuses in it, which that's a whole different story. But yeah, you just gotta be cautious, and you gotta make sure you read the back of what you're eating. It gotta be different now. You gotta think twice about what you're eating, because you can't just eat whatever you want. He told you to be holy, which means be separate. You gotta understand, you like, we are gods, so we have to act according to. If you're not eating right, then you're not going to, prosper as you're supposed. Just like, if Popeye stopped eating like spinach and he started eating nonsense. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna turn out bad for you. So you gotta remember, you're feeding your soul. You're not feeding your body necessarily. You're feeding your soul. And you can get more information on it. If you want to read through it again. He says it again in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verses 3 through 21.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, basically, like, the piggyback off of that is like the Most High created animals with the certain design in mind. Just like Brother Darren is talking about, we have certain animals that are filter animals. They're filter animals that belong in the water, like clams, shrimp, and things like that. Then you have filter animals that are on land, wild boars, pigs, meat, weasels, things like that. And these filter animals are designed to clean up the trash or the debris that's left on the ground from the other animals. Because if you just left all the trash and the bones and the marrow and all the debris that animals don't eat on the ground, it would make the ground stink, and it would make it very corrosive, and a lot of diseases would be around. So what these filter animals are designed to do by the Most High is to get rid of the diseases and eat them, because their body can digest and take the diseases. That's why another thing that another people don't understand is the rise of allergies. Like, there's a rise of allergies because people eat a lot of seafood. A lot of seafood has a lot of allergens in it. And I didn't realize this. I got older and I got into the truth. But when I did, I realized it. And then my allergies started to lessen a lot more. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand, because there are a lot of algae, different type of algae in the ocean. And the shrimp and the lobsters, they can digest this stuff, and it doesn't harm them. But when it gets in our body, it can make a whole different effect on us. So just like Brother Dan was talking about, we got to be cautious about what we put in our body. And just like he was saying, read the label. Another tip, toothpaste. A lot of people don't understand this, but toothpaste has pork in it. And the brush that you brush your teeth with, understand that those hairs, those bristles, that's pork hair, unless you read it and you make sure you get another kind. Same thing with the brush. That's why I say be particular about everything that you get, from the deodorant, the grease you use for your face, your hair, everything. You want to be kind of cognizant of everything you put on your body, because when you do this, you'll start to create an aura around yourself. You'll become clean. Because to be honest, it becomes like a 6-month process to cleanse yourself, to get away from everything that's unclean. And then your brain will start to catch on to things faster. It's like people ask us all the time, how do y'all pick up these verses, remember all this information? It's because we detox, and then we're cleaning ourselves and getting away from what has covered and put the veil over our eyes. So once you start to separate yourself and you start to put the right feel in your body, hey man, the possibilities are limitless, man, limitless. And I wanted to jump on 1 John 2, 4 through 5. And he that says, I know him, and guards not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso guards his word, in him truly is the love of Yahweh perfected. Hereby we know that we are in him. What is truth again? So again, there right there, we're just confirming that if you talking about you in the truth, and a lot of people say they love so-called Jesus Christ and whatever, they'll say this, but they're not really following upon the words. They're not following upon the Bible. I just said it right there. You got to follow the commandments, and one of the biggest commandments is the dietary law. But one thing you'll see a lot of black churches do, they'll cook some sausage and shit in the ham in the kitchen, bro. But trying to be holy, it don't work like that. It do not work like that.
Exactly. They be trying to pray over food. That's
Mm-hmm.
already abominable. Like, that's not how that works.
And then another thing I wanted to reiterate is just like I was talking about earlier, is like how when you start to eat better, your body will start to respond better. Even the Most High Yahweh commanded his people to do this, like when John, Paul, and Yahweh Shai, when they were first being born and their mother was carrying them, there was a certain guidelines that was given to them by Yahweh, how they should eat, what they should drink, and I wanted to touch on that. And I'm at Judges 13:1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of Yahweh, and Yahweh delivered them into the hand of the Philistines for 40 years. 2. There was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah. His wife was barren, and bare not. And then the angel of Yahweh appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and thou bearest not. Thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now beware. Now therefore beware, I pray thee. Drink not wine, nor strong drink. Eat not anything unclean. So right there, he's telling him, because she was barren, she got blessed with a child, man child. So that's what they refer to as the son, a man child. Anytime anybody in our tribe or in our of Israel has a man child, that you got to take this with a certain responsibility. So that's why Yahweh told her that he wasn't allowed to drink wine nor strong drink, because his body had to be pure and purified. So that means she couldn't either. So she had to purify herself. So this is just confirming and letting you know that even the Most High Yahweh is telling you that he just confirming that this is the way that we need to live to purify ourselves. What's up, therapy for the mind? Shalom, therapy. And just like even Yahweh, he knew even into the future that we would be in this place right now and we'd be eating abominable things. He even spoke about this in the Bible before. He spoke about how he knew that we would be eating things and we might not know what they are, or we might be tricked into eating things. Like, we've been tricked in years for thinking that certain things we eat, like bacon, that's okay, when it really was not for us. And 1 second, Salakia. Okay, Ezekiel. Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat the defileth bread among the Gentiles. Whither I drive them, then I said, Lord God, behold, my soul has not been polluted for my mouth, for my youth up until now. Have I not eaten of that which is defileth of itself, or is it torn into pieces? Neither came their abominable flesh into my mouth. So right there in verse 13, he's telling us that we would defile ourselves by eating abominations with the Gentiles, which we're doing right now. A lot of times we go to these restaurants and a lot of things, we don't understand that they cook 90% of the food in lard, which is just pig fat. And a lot of people that say, hey, I don't eat pork, but you're going to these places, just like you said, McDonald's, another deception. McDonald's, all these places, all they do is they just trick you. They might have something that says, yeah, this is 100% beef or whatever. It's not. And they're cooking in lard anyway. So if it's 100% beef, it doesn't matter because it's covered in pig fat. So we have to be cognizant of these things. And also, I want to jump down to Isaiah 6:17. That sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, behind one tree in the midst of eating wine's flesh and abominations, the mouths shall be consumed together, says the Lord. This right here is talking about it's really pertaining to Moab and Ammon, but this really could pertain to us because we do eat food from Moab and Ammon, and they were known back in the day as they were the people that they would eat the most abominable things of anybody. Anything they could get their hands on, Moab and Ammon, they would get it. Rats, squid, crabs, clams, anything like that. Conch shells, just anything that they felt like could be edible. And so what has happened is Moab and Ammon has set up shop in our hoods or quote unquote communities. Well, it's not a community. Communities has a culture. But and what has happened is we go to these shops and we get orange chicken or whatever. We don't realize that Moab and Ammon, they don't live like we live. They will serve you whatever. They don't care how it's prepared. And we got to start to understand that we got to buy from our people. We got to buy from our people that are more cognizant and aware of what we're eating and how it's benefiting our body.
Yeah, our people love some pork, boy.
Oh yeah, bro. They don't even read the packaging if it's pork or not. It is it's meat, eat it. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you jump to Paul.
All right. So a lot of people get confused on, the understanding of Paul and such. And I don't blame you, because the way Paul spoke was very hard to understand. You have to just reread it and things like that. But a lot of people, allow the pastor to teach them what they read and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to jump to Acts chapter 10, 9 through 14. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and he became very hungry, and he would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creepy things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Yahweh, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. So he's letting you know right there, he's paying attention. Sorry, Father, I can't eat this because you said it was unclean and, abominable. And to go more into that one, basically what he was trying to say is, he was talking about the nation of Israel keeping company or living amongst other nations, because at first it was unlawful for an Israelite to share company with another nation. So basically, we have to be weary of what we eat, because you can put stumbling blocks before your own brethren too. If somebody is eating pork and you're around them, you should tell them, hey, you can't eat that around me because we're not supposed to be eating it. It's abominable. So I'm gonna jump to 28 real quick. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation, but Yahweh has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Just like I just said before, it wasn't allowed to keep company, because we gotta understand, we gotta be holy. It means to be separate, right? So everything we do, down to the women we choose, down to the things we eat, we have to be separate, because those nations, they're in the middle. You know what I'm saying? You got Jacob on the right hand side, and you got Esau on the left hand side. Well, the nations sway to what's going on. They don't have any guidance. So we're supposed to be the guidance to them. So when we're eating healthy, then they'll catch on to it. Just like in this world, Esau Edom has made it to where, you can eat whatever you want. And people have taken that up, and it's really destroying their body, whether they know it or not.
That's why you have all these diseases that are prevalent now. Yeah. It's on me. So I want another aspect that I wanted to say is what does Yahweh Shah say about all this? Because a lot of people will just jump around that. They'll disregard that, because that's what really matters. What Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah say about following the law and defiling your body. So let's get into that. Isaiah 65, 1-6. And I sought them, and I asked not for me. I am found them that I sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that is not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all day, and unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. So right here, he's talking about us. We're following after our own thoughts. That we want to eat what we want to eat, and we want to say it benefits us, however it benefits us. We don't want to do the law anymore.
Yeah, he told you not to lean upon your own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people use too much emotional. You gotta wait. whatever the Most High says is what goes. People are like, I feel like, no, it doesn't matter what you feel.
Nope. 3. And the people that provoke me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in the gardens and burn up and increase upon altars of bricks. So this right here is talking about when we had the swine. This is talking about when there were certain Israelites that would take swine and different abominable meats, and they would sacrifice them on the altars. And this would anger the Most High. This would make him irate, because he would tell people, why are you defiling my altar? Why are you defiling the altar that you sacrifice on with these unclean beasts? Because this is at a time before Yahushua returned, which I'll tap into that later. But this is the time before Yahushua returned, because it's when Yahushua returned, we don't sacrifice animals anymore. That was the law that he did away with. The sacrifice of the animals to cleanse our sins, we don't do that anymore. So what this is pertaining to in Isaiah, this is talking about a time where we did have to sacrifice animals. But there were specific animals that we sacrificed. We didn't go sacrifice a pig. We didn't go sacrifice a chicken. There was you only got a lamb. You got a certain lamb that was in a certain shape. Definitely. So let me see. 4, which remain among the graves and enlarge the monuments, which eat swine's flesh, and it brought abominable things in their vessels, and which said, stand by thyself and come near to me, for I am a holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but I will recompense into their bosoms. So basically, he's talking about recompense. He's gonna get his revenge. He's gonna get his judgment, because people think. Oh yeah, somebody sent me that long message. I was like, oh, okay. Hey man, I want to donate to the. Hey, I want to donate, man. Donate. Be weary though. Be weary. But y'all want to donate, I can donate. Back to the lesson. Salaki. But like basically, he was saying he's gonna deliver vengeance and recompense for all the people that have gone against him. After he sat there with Aaron, Brother Dan just read it. After he sat there with Aaron and explained what is clean and unclean, and you got people going back on it eating swine, just like I said in verse 4, defiling their bodies and their vessels. So he's telling the people that he's not going to stay silent anymore, that there's going to be recompense for all this. And I want to jump to verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots, like a whirlwind, and render to his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and slain of the Lord shall be many. So that slain of the Lord shall be many, because people are not following the law, statute, commandments, and they have been treating his people with the respect that they deserve. So it's bigger than just the dietary law, but the dietary law is the beginning. If you're not eating right, you're not eating properly, that's another way that the Most High can tap into your spirit, into your soul, and pure. When you're not eating correctly, then your body's not pure. It's going to be off, and he's going to notice that off vibration coming from your spirit, because he's not looking at the outside; he's looking at the inside.
Oh yeah, and you can't.
So people can fake the funk and say it, but if you ain't been detoxing and doing what you're supposed to be doing, he's gonna know just by the aura around your spirit. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you off, bro. You got that pork still in you."
Oh yeah, and people gotta understand the law of Moses is what sets you up to receive the Ruach. So the Ruach is not going to curse your body or anything like that if you're not pure. So when people be like, "Oh, the law of Moses was done away with," well, how are you supposed to receive the new covenant? The new covenant is receiving the Ruach to become like a holy God. You have to be able to receive the Ruach in order to stand around the Most High or any of them. So if you can't receive the Ruach, then you're going to get cooked when he come back to the earth. That's why when he was talking about separating the sheep and the goats, so you have to follow the laws, because the laws is what set you up. And you see it with Moses. When Moses was following the laws and stuff like that, he became a god amongst Pharaoh. So people still want to be, bought at the bottom creature, then they're going to eat whatever they want. And they keep thinking if they pray over it, it's going to make a difference, and it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's another thing. Good thing you tapped on that, because a lot of people, what they'll do, is they'll pray over their meals and their food, and they'll think it's getting a blessing. Well, he's not hearing that blessing, man. You praying over abominable food. He's not hearing that, bro. He thinking he's like, you tripping, dog. Go on,
Oh, yeah.
go on
But
with that. Go on with that, bro. This is a little side note, and another thing, what Brother Dan is talking about with the ruach. That's another video for another day. That I'll make sure Brother Dan will get to it, and we'll get to it, and we'll explain that more deeper. But back to the dietary laws. It's you, raw meat.
all right, so I'm gonna talk about the raw meat. So before I talk about it, you have to make sure you cook your meat thoroughly. You know, some people get steak and be like, oh, I eat mine, you know, this way or this way, anything but fully cooked. And, you know, they're not doing nothing but harming their bodies because they think, oh, if I cook it fully, then I'm just, you know, it's burning out the nutrients. And that's not how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And to tack on to that one, I'm going to read Genesis chapter 9, verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. 5, and surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Basically, blood is life. So you over here eating half-cooked food, hell, you better all just go out there and just bite an animal yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to cook your food thoroughly. I don't care what type of chef said. I don't care what Gordon Ramsay said. What did the Most High say? The Most High told you to cook your food thoroughly. You should not eat or taste of the blood. He already told you that. I'm going to jump to Deuteronomy 12, and I'm going to read verse 16. Salakia. All right. Here we go. Deuteronomy 12, verse 16. Only ye shall not eat the blood, ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. So, like I said, you're eating life. Blood is life. So you should not eat upon that blood. You just pour it on the earth as water, or just fully cook it. Simple as that. If you fully cook your food, you're going to be straight. And that's what a lot of people be having tough time doing because, oh, everybody and their mama don't cook their steak full, or you
Burgers.
get shunned. Yeah, you get shunned for nonsense. Like, hey, we got to be different anyways from the other nations. No matter how they cook their stuff, we got to do what they say. So I'm going to read Exodus 12, verse 9. Eat not of it raw nor sodden, and all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs and with the puritans thereof. So this is when he was talking about the Passover. You know, he iterated again. You know, don't eat it raw. You have to fully cook it. That's the only way he's going to, like, imagine you going up there, you know, back then, and you giving a sacrifice, and you give him half, you know, cooked food. He's not going to take that. And majority of the time, the priest will have to eat behind it, too, when you're giving sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a holy type of food, and you're not going to do nothing but make them sick. So you're not doing them no favor.
Justice.
Go ahead. I'm going to jump to Hebrews.
Oh, yeah, you can go. Because
Right.
you
I'm still looking
on raw meat? Yeah, go ahead. Finish that up.
All right. I'm going to jump to Hebrews 12 and 16. All right, here we go. 12 and 16. So when you're doing all this stuff, you know, you're not doing nothing but acting like Esau Edom, right? Which means they don't care. You know, Esau Edom is the heathen, you know, the wicked. They don't follow any laws anyways. It wasn't given to them regardless. But the easiest way to say it, when you eating raw meat and you're not following the dietary laws, you acting like Esau Edom. You know, take that however you want. So I'm reading Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So you doing all that, you may as well just give up your birthright. You don't want to follow the laws anyways. You know, you just basically doing away with your birthright. And a lot of people be thinking, oh, you know, he didn't eat no raw meat. Well, that's because Jacob cooked it. Okay, he got meat from Jacob. Jacob fully cooked it. So people be thinking, oh, such and such. No, Esau Edom doesn't follow the laws or anything. He's lawless. That man
outside the temple. He's outside the temple.
Yeah, he's not even allowed in the temple.
Yeah. Even after 10 generations, a bastard is never allowed inside the temple. He'll always be outside the temple. And he's a
Fact.
bastard because he rejected his father, which is Abba, Yahweh.
And that's what you see a lot of us doing now, because the world has made it to where like God doesn't exist, and that's what's gonna get you
Killed.
Yeah, that's what's
Killed.
gonna get you killed, because you blaspheming His name, you blaspheming everything that he's done. You know, you calling him a liar, and he's not a liar at all.
Exactly. Just to get off top, that's another thing that we were talking about, man. Is people out here that's speaking against his name, like to him. Y'all better watch out, man. Like that's a serious offense, man. And that's not something you take lightly. Like, all these other offenses, man, you can repent and go back. But start speaking out against the Most High to his face in that manner, all bets are off, man. That's his shot. That's his call. He could take you out right then and there, man. So I just want people to be wise about what they're doing. That's another side note. So anybody talking like that, get away from them, man. But yeah, it's on me. And this is another lesson. This is another topic, another aspect of this that I just now came into not that long ago, but I wanted to share this with everybody. I shared it on my page, but I want to clarify it. Is that mushrooms are part of the unclean food too. A lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people didn't know this. I didn't know this myself, and I had to correct myself. But mushrooms are unclean too, because we got to think about mushrooms are not normal vegetation. Mushrooms arrive from fungi or mildew. This is not natural vegetation. This is something that is fungus. It is something that is a bacteria of some sort. Fungus, bacteria, and
Go ahead. And also, seaweed. You know, I know a lot of people like to eat seaweed snacks and stuff like that. That's unclean as well.
This falls under the same category of this, and with seeds and spores, because you got to understand that mushrooms can also be used as a psychedelic. And see, we're not supposed to be even dealing in that aspect at all. We're supposed to have a sober body, sound mind. And I wanted to just bring out a couple verses that shows you that the Most High like struck our garden with mildew and mold, and that's the equivalent to mushrooms. So if the Most High cursed our garden with mildew, why would He allow us to eat it? Because mushrooms are mildew, are bacteria. You're correct. Some bacteria is good though, but we produce that bacteria inside our bodies. We should not be going out and grabbing and receiving this bacteria, because what you got to understand is there's really only one type of good mushroom. All the other mushrooms are poisonous to your body. So you're really out here taking chances in the first place, because portobello mushrooms are the only ones that are technically good for us. If you don't grab those, the other ones are poisonous. So I wanted to Amos 4:9, I have smitten you with blasting of mildew, with your gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees increased, and the palmer worm devoured, and you have not returned unto me, said the Lord. So right there, he smite the garden and it mildew. And one thing that people gotta understand is, because I know I live out in the woods in the country, so I see wildlife and nature different than other folks. But when you cut a tree down and the tree deteriorates and it rots, and the stump finally rots and the roots under the ground rot and deteriorate, they produce mushroom spores. So when all the life is poured out of the tree and all the water and it's nothing but just deterioration, that's when mushroom spores come. So mushroom spores come out of
Decomposers.
decomposing. So that's their job, is to decompose. That's going right back to what we said at the beginning. What is their purpose? When you start to figure out what is the purpose that the Most High made for these animals, then you'll start to understand, can I consume this? So if the mushroom's job is decompose, should I be consuming something that decomposes? No, I should not. And Haggai 2:17. And I smite you again, blast you with mildew and hail all the labors of your hands, yet ye turn not to me, said the Lord. So again, He's smiting them with mildew. Mildew just means another form of mold or fungi, which can be mushrooms. So again, the Bible is telling you blatantly right there that mushrooms, mildew, fungi, that family is not good for us to digest. And a lot of people, they might not like this, or this might be something that might be hard for them to grasp, but The Most High said it right there, and we have to be wise, and we have to be a student of the word, a student of history, a student of etymology, because without etymology, you're not going to understand, or a student of basic science, you're not going to understand that fungi and mushrooms are in the same family or the same category, so they're basically the same food. They have the same chemical makeup. And then another thing that somebody had brought to my attention was manna. People try to say that manna is the same thing as mushrooms or fungi. No, it's not. And I'll bring that out and I'll show you, because he doesn't compare manna to mushrooms, because we just read right there where he compared fungi, and he said he destroyed the garden with fungi. So we're going to see what he says about manna. So I'm in Exodus 16:31. And the house of Israel called the name thereof a manna. It was like a coriander seed, white, and taste of it was waters made with honey. So right here, it's explaining manna as a good thing, as a sweet thing, as a something that's very tasteful. Nothing like mildew or mold. So when people get this confused, they don't really understand. They haven't tapped into what this manna is, or where it comes from. And I'm not going to read it, but another verse that you can read into and kind of get a deeper understanding of manna is Numbers 11:7, and manna is spelled Manna. So y'all can look that up. That'll be a little side history for y'all. And we just wanted to and now we're gonna head into parts. We just want to wrap it up and kind of conclude. And we're gonna go with another part, probably a part 2, and go a little bit deeper into the clean and unclean. But then we're gonna wrap this up and follow it up with part 2. So I'm gonna jump down to Romans 3:4. Let Yahweh be true for every man. 1 second, Salaki.
You all right?
Yes, Salaki.
Let me read mine real quick.
Oh, I'm there. I'm already there. Trying to follow the notes that we got set up. So Romans 3:4. Salaki. Romans 3:4. Yahweh forbid ye, let Yahweh be true, every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, that mightest overcome when thou art judged. So basically what that's saying is that so he's saying let Yahweh be true. So let these words that we just spoke about the dietary law, about not eating pork, about not eating raw meat, and about not eating mushrooms, let that be true. Let that reign true. Because that's Yahweh's true. And let every man that speaks against that, he's a liar. And he's speaking damnation to himself. So we don't need to worry about that. And if they judge us, or they look at you funny, or they start to ask questions of why you doing this, or why you eating like that, or why you not eating that, or why you doing this,
I love to call you a Muslim. That's the first thing that
yeah,
come out
they
their
gonna
mouth.
call you Muslim, bro. Hey, don't worry about that. Let them keep worrying, keep pondering why. Cause they don't know what we doing. They don't know we don't know what we worship. They don't know what we doing this for, bro. It's a bigger picture. So you just gotta keep that goal in mind, bro. What I do is when people start to come at me and they start to want to knock me off track, is I envision the kingdom. That's what I do. Is I put that in my head. I put that in the forefront. Cause they don't know what my goal is. That's my goal. Is I want to get my people there. That's my goal. So man, you gotta find your focus, man. And I'm gonna jump down to Psalms 51:4. And against you only have I sinned and done this evil in your sight, that you might be justified when you speak and be clear when you judge. And again, so basically, we have to come clean and we have to confess. Like me and Brother Dan, we both have to confess all our deeds. We all got to turn and repent. And so we have to be righteous and we have to be clean so that we can come on here and speak and teach. Because we're going to come from a bad disposition if we're speaking and teaching, but we're not living the way we're trying to tell people to live. Like it kind of sounds preposterous, you know? So we have to actually be living it. Understand that we have sinned, that we have fallen short, and that nobody's perfect, and you can't judge nobody until you've been through the fire yourself, essentially. And I'll let you take over.
All right, so I'm gonna read Psalms 119 and 142 just to bridge on what he was saying. Psalms 119 verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy laws is the truth. So right there, like he was saying in Romans 3 and 4, the law is the truth. Let Yahweh's word be true. You know, it doesn't matter what this world is going to say or do. I mean, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked anyway, so they're gonna go against it. You have to stand out and do what's right for the Most High and not for other individuals. To bridge onto that one, I'm gonna jump to Revelations, verse 12.
And 9.
Chapter 12, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So basically, the earth was given, like I said, was given into the hands of the wicked. That's Job 9 and 24, if I'm right.
Yes, you're right.
All right. So he's here to throw you off, to distract you. You know what I'm saying? But we being the 1/3, you know, that's gonna be what? First Corinthians 2 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so First Corinthians 2 and 11, you know,
You're right.
we gotta be aware of Satan's devices. That's why you gotta read. You must read to show yourself approved and follow the law, statutes, and the holy days. That's where you can be able to understand and connect more with the Ruach HaKodesh, you know, to be able to see things for what they are and not be caught in the veil. I'm gonna jump to Matthew. Yeah, it's a lot of them. And I mean, even though the Most High is helping to reveal, you know, what Esau Edom is doing, you also have to do your part. You know what I'm saying? So Matthew chapter 7, verse 23. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So what he's saying is, you know, a lot of people go around, just like he read 1 John 2 and 4. You know, a lot of people go around and say, oh, I love the Most High. Oh, I'll do this and that. But they don't even keep the laws. You're calling yourself, you know, a liar. So if you're not, you have to be doer of the word, which people have to understand that one as well. I got two more. So I'm going to read 1 Corinthians. And I'm going to jump to, that's actually 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. So we got to be aware and stay up with what, you know, what the Most High is asking us to do and not be caught up in the lies that Esau Edom is bringing upon us. Because it's into the closing curtains, and he got to push harder because, you know, he trying to reset the matrix and stuff like that. But so 1 Corinthians 3, chapter 3, verse 16 and 17 is talking about the temple of Yahweh. So know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So like I said, mentioned in the past videos, there was 2 times Jerusalem was built, the temple was built. I think it was Jeremiah 31 or 32, and it was also Jeremiah 51 that the temple was destroyed. So the third temple is not in the land of Israel. The third temple is us, is your body. So you have to follow the law, statutes, and the holy days, things like that, to keep up with your temple. Because if not, you got to remember, in the eyes of the Most High, right is right, wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter who is who. If you're not, you either follow the laws or you don't. And that's how he's going to judge you based off that. Last one, 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. What know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which ye have of Yahweh, or power, and ye are not your own. So your temple does not belong to you. Everything that's created, including us, we belong to the Most High. He chose us for a reason. So when we're not doing what he's asking us to do, we're not doing nothing but polluting his name, which he did before when he got rid of us before. He cast us off, but he didn't do away with us completely. We have to return back to those laws, statutes, and the holy days. And the dietary laws is very critical to achieving that because everybody loves to eat. You know what I'm saying? You might snack or something like that. Be weary of what you're eating because you need to fuel your spirit, not your body, but your spirit, so that you can receive the Ruach HaKodesh and other things to gain back your godlike status.
Yes, sir. We're going to post this on YouTube, and I'm going to post it on my page, and Darren's going to share it on his story. So it'll be in cycle, man. So you can rewatch the whole thing from beginning. People might have time to stay on here from the whole entire time, but I appreciate everybody coming in and out.
Yeah, before we close, I want to give all praise, power, and glory and thanks. We want to give all praise, power, glory, and thanks to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders, the prophets, the apostles, the wise men, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are out here pushing the truth to the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom to do so, doing the best that they can to uphold the law, statutes, and the holy days, and to call out wickedness and to practice what they preach. To them we say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody stay prayed up, stay safe out there, man. I'll catch you on the next one.
Shalom.